Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Media Truder, welcome back to Fallout 4, You Only Live Once. Well, last time, we made it back here to the Nakano residence to kick off Far Harbor, because, oh bloody hell, today we're going into the fog. Now, some of you have said, John, why have you gone bananas? Okay, why are you going into Far Harbor when you just had to retreat out of Nuka World? You're blatantly not ready for the DLC, you've clearly just gone utterly mad. To which I reply, no. I know Far Harbor can be a bit of a nightmare, but, there are good things, alright, in many ways actually. Far Harbor's kind of the opposite of Nuka World, alright. We're going to be discussing this today, because I think I've got a good chance here. So, number one, we just need to check in with Kenji here. I'll give you the abbreviated version of the story, because, to be honest, we can't have the full version anyway, because for the full story of Far Harbor, you need to have Nick Valentine with you. Companions are barred by You Live Once rules, so Nick can't come anyway. So, I'll keep you up to speed as best we can. Basically, his daughter's gone missing. He wants me to figure out why. Now, he'll point me to some tapes upstairs, but they just tell you, hey, she's an engineer and she felt like she didn't really fit in. What we really want is outside in the shed. Here we go, out in the boat shed, this safe right here, that's what we need, but I can't open up that, so just head over to here, picture frame, give that an examine, don't need to be passing a perception check or anything, anyone can get this. That gets me the key, that gets me inside, that gets me the one tape I actually bloody need, so let's just slap that in.
Project log? Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but God, where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synthetic people, made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I'm going to go to meet these synths. I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
And there we flipping go. That's the information you need to persuade Kenji to give you his boat, because, yeah, we got ourselves two major mysteries to solve in Far Harbor. One of them is, what happened to Kasumi, and what can we do, if anything, to get her back. The other one, we'll get into shortly. For the time being, though, just turn that into Kenji, and we can be on our way into the fog.
I know you haven't asked for a payment, and we can't offer much. But here, please take it. I insist. For expenses, if nothing else.
Okay, I'm not just being humble because I'm a nice person. I genuinely don't want your money. You are screwing up my survival strategy right now, Kenji. And with that, here we go. We are flipping going. Nuka World didn't work out, but this is going to go much better. Probably. And here we flipping are. Oh, bloody hell. Far Harbor gets one a hell of an introduction. You just arrive and... yeah, you get the feeling you shouldn't be here, like, at all. It doesn't really look, welcoming. The fog and everything, the ruins, it's just... oh, it's got one a hell of an atmosphere, this place. But, don't need to worry about all that for now. All we need to deal with for the moment is, the town, as that slowly, comes into view. And yes, here we go. Say hello to our new friends, Avery and Alan. I say friends, and by the way, there's some free XP as well. They don't really like us very much. In fact, actually, you can just use that for free XP. I should have done that the first time I came to the Nakano residence. You can basically, find the tape, speak to him, then immediately get in the boat, and then here's another fun thing you can do. You can just go straight back again, having banked, whatever it is, 400 odd XP. Because I can just go over to these controls right now and say, you know what? I don't like the look of this place. I've changed my mind, and if I was a sane individual, that's probably what I should do at this point. So, yeah, couple of different options here. Plenty of freedom for what you can do next, because I can just abandon this place. Or, if okay, I'm wearing power armor, so this doesn't really work so well for me, but if I wasn't wearing power armor, I could just, you know, jump this side of the boat and go for a swim anywhere I want, anywhere around the islands. Because yes, indeed, Far Harbor is an island, there is ocean every side, and in many ways, yeah, going around the ocean is the safest way to navigate, for the simple reason that out there, there's not much fog and there's no enemies. So you can just swim around the outskirts, no trouble. Now in survival mode, there's a very good chance you will get sick, because while you're swimming, you're just adding more and more to your disease pool, rolling for disease over and over again, so you will get sick eventually. But outside survival mode, if you've taken the perk that means you don't take rads in water, yeah, this is by far the easiest way to navigate, and I might well be willing to accept disease to do it anyway later in this DLC. For the time being though, no. No. We need to say hello to the town, if only because I need their shops to get rid of all this bloody money. I'm currently less strong than I should be. So, hello there, Avery.
I need information about a synth refuge on this island.
Ah, another Commonwealth traveler looking for Acadia then.
Damn it. Mariners incoming.
Something's coming through the fog!
You, help us defend the town and I'll answer any questions you have. Take a post at the top of the wall near the main gate. The hull never lets us down. Now follow me!
So yes, indeed, we don't get many answers. Instead, we're straight into action, or rather, we're not. Okay. This little bit of action basically exists to introduce you to the various creatures that can exist in Far Harbor. It's going to come in 2 waves, and it's not going to start until I go over there and the relevant plot thing happens. So, for the time being, I'm completely 100% safe. Okay, the 2 waves are as follows. Wave 1 is going to be gulpers and rad roaches. Now, both of them don't have projectiles. Gulpers can, in theory, knock physics objects at you, but it's very rare and doesn't really hurt very much, so we don't need to worry about that. The second wave, however, that's where the trouble is. So for the time being, this is pretty much just free XP or so. How's my crit meter? I could do with the crits, to be honest. I'm not going to say no. So alright. Hello, Avery. Just anytime you're ready. Here we go.
Man the hull! Something's out there.
Okay, for the time being, it's just going to be... Don't fall off, by the way. Avery, do not flipping push me off. You can get back up, but it's tricky. So I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to hang back all the way over here, because the biggest risk can actually be, yeah, not the gulpers, it can be the cocking harbormen. Why? They've got Molotov cocktails, and they can sometimes be a bit lax about their Molotov cocktail trigger discipline, or whatever you want to call it. They can set you a little bit on fire, and by the way, just got to find myself... Well, they're walking straight to mines, which is marvellous. Say hello to, yes, thing number 1 right over here. I just want to go for the... Just the torso will be fine. So take a shot at them. That should be a hit right over there. And yeah, I can just boost up everything. I don't care about the belly. These guys are basically Deathclaws. The fact they can knock physics objects is something Deathclaws can do as well. They kind of move in a very similar way. Their tails are actually very easy to hit, so I might just kind of go for that. So just take you out as well. And yeah, for the time being, these are just babies. Gulpers have not much armor, and babies have not much health. Maybe, I don't know, 200 hit points. Shouldn't be too difficult to take them out. Not a great shot over here. I'll just go for the leg, and there we go. Back off. Fusion core. Yep, there we go. Look at that. Molotovs, like, cocking crazy. So, there might be more just yet. They haven't even spotted me. There's one down over there. He's going to naff off. Because, yeah, their pathing gets a bit confused for the simple reason they can't get to me. They have no way of getting past the hull because the gate is currently closed and locked. So they can't climb. They've got no projectile. So they're just going to kind of bumble back and forth. In fact, he might have nipped over to... I see him. He might have nipped over there. We're almost up to where we want to be. There's the tail. And no, he kind of moved out the way. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Let's get something good on you. And no, that's not down to... Okay, how is that going? Oh, that's a Molotov. You see, I don't... I shouldn't be standing here. I should really be backing off. Tail, take a tail shot. There we go. Maybe just back off. Alright, just there we go. Are we good? Is that wave 1? Okay, wave 2 is about to begin. Wave 2 is anglers. They do have a projectile. I do not want to be here for that. But the gulpers I'll take out just to speed things up a little bit here. There's another young gulper. I know it's anglers. Where are you guys? Come on, guys. Just take a pot shot. He's dead. There's the anglers. Okay, back off. I'm not getting involved. Alright? These guys won't just path out into the middle of nowhere for the simple reason they've got projectiles, so they're going to fire, and the town's going to fire back. There we go. Didn't need to bother getting involved in that. Those guys could have hit me. It's safer to just let them take care of it. Wave 1, that's fine. How's my crit? Now completely full up. Okay. I'm going to take that as a win. I think that's a good result right there. And bloody hell. Avery, you're about to give me more cocking money, aren't you? Dear flippin' dear. Bloody hell, yep, there's 275 bottle caps. I did not need that. So, there we go. We've spoken to her. She wants me to help out all the different people around town. We'll be, getting into that in a moment. For the time being, I need to, clear out all of my money. So, excuse me, good sir, I need some ammo. Gosh darn it, he doesn't actually have that much. Okay, but Alan, next door, he's also, he's a gun trader. He should have more ammunition. There we go. That's flipping better. Marvellous. Yep, clear him out of 308, take 1450 caliber. That is precisely what I need. Back down to 0 caps. And Alan's also rather useful for, introducing the second part of this DLC if you speak to him about the Children of Atom.
What's your problem with the Children of Atom?
We should have gunned those bastards down the moment they set foot here. Instead, we let them in. All in secret from wherever they're holed up. They've been feeding the fog. Getting it stronger. Strong enough to push us all out of our homesteads. Further and further until it's a wonder we're not all drowned in the ocean.
You have any proof that they've fed the fog?
Proof? We wait for that and we might as well pull the trigger ourselves. Look, in my daddy's time, the fog was a nuisance. Something you avoided. Now every day it gets stronger. It's like the fires of hell out there. Because of the children.
And there we flipping go. The second part of this DLC is, there's a civil war brewing. The factions don't like or trust each other, so we've got to resolve both parts of that. And that's where this DLC gets really, really bloody interesting. So, okay, let's have a quick look-see at what makes this DLC so incredibly different to Nuka Worlds. In Nuka World, there's basically one solution to the DLC. Alright, doesn't matter which gang you're trying to back or whether you screw over the raiders and back the traders instead, regardless of what decision you make there, you have to take all 5 lands and then take the power plant. That is the only way to complete Nuka World. Alright, and as for the locations, they are overwhelmingly focused in those 5 lands. Far Harbor is pretty much the opposite of that. Rather than one ending, there's a whole bunch of different ones, and a whole bunch of quests only need to be done if you're going for one particular ending or another. This means that actually, Far Harbor, you can complete it without seeing a large part of the island. For the simple reason I consider to complete Far Harbor, 2 things need to happen. 1, the Kasumi situation needs to be resolved. Alright, doesn't matter how it gets resolved, I just need something I can tell her parents. She's decided to stay, she comes home, she dies, something I can tell her parents, so I have told them what the resolution to Kasumi's story is. And number 2, the civil war needs to be resolved. It can be resolved peacefully or because there's only one person left standing, doesn't matter. As long as there's no risk of civil war anymore, that's gonna do it. Okay, now there are 2 ways to kind of cheatily complete this DLC. Just like in Vault-Tec, you can say, screw it, get out of my vault, and that just sort of ends it prematurely. In this DLC, you can, once you've found Acadia, go and speak to the Brotherhood or the Institute and just say, hey, there's a giant pile of synths over here, and they'll come and murder them or reclaim them, and that's kind of a cheaty way of resolving it, so I'm considering that not allowed under YOLO rules. So that's what we need to do here. We need to do both those things for Far Harbor to be complete. And we've got trouble, unfortunately, though, hang on. Before I talk about that, let's just very quickly, just check for corpses, make sure there's nothing else out here. because there might have been a legendary among all of these. We good? Really hoping those brackets are only moving because, you know, all of this nonsense. There's some meat, by the way. I need meat. Oh, that was a legendary, and he was garbage. Oh, good. A 25% less action point combat knife. Truly, my troubles are over. Yes, as I was saying, there's trouble out here in Far Harbor, and you're probably thinking I'm talking about the fog. No. The fog's fine. No trouble with the fog whatsoever. Well, okay, a little bit, but we'll get to that. The trouble is, Far Harbor crashes. Like, a lot. For me, anyway. Like, a lot of people say, hey, you're really lucky Fallout 4 hasn't crashed in central Boston. For me, the base game's very stable, but yeah, on my rig, for whatever reason, Far Harbor has always been catastrophically unstable. You may remember if you've been here a while, back in my original survival mode playthrough, yeah, we had several crashes while I was doing this. I believe one up in the, the park headquarters, one down by the lighthouse. There may have been more. This is a very crash-happy DLC for me, which means, due to the risk of losing huge amounts of progress, I'm going to need to do more saving than I would do normally, which is going to cost me some adrenaline, but it's kind of the only way to potentially risk, you know, being reset back to the beginning of everything, constantly. So, yeah, not great, but I think it's what we need to do. You know, I was literally about to say, so therefore, I'm going to hire a room so I can drop a save right now in case I get a crash really early on. Then I remembered I don't have any money, because, okay, I need to figure out how much a room costs, because generally I don't hire rooms in this game. The one I'm passing by, ignore flipping, Longfellow. Instead, help myself to a lovely Islanders Almanac. There's like 5 of these dotted around. None of them are anywhere near as good as that Scav magazine. They're just not as good in general. Like, some of them are kind of okay. I think there's like a 5% damage reduction against Mirelurks, which is alright, I suppose. But I think we could do without it. But yeah, that's just given me a handful of locations, so not necessarily any ones I'll be needing, but I'd rather have them than not. Okay, it's 10 caps to rent a room, but I can barter to get the 10 caps out of him. Lovely. There we go, I've now rented a room, meaning I'm allowed to go to sleep upstairs in here and drop a safety save, because, yeah, there's a very real possibility it's just going to crash. I don't want to do this because I'd rather keep my adrenaline. I'm giving up 15% damage right now, but the risk of crashing in Far Harbor is just too high for me, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to do that, and I really hope I don't get sick. Alright, that would be a bad omen at the start, so just step out of my giant power armor, because you can't sleep in that, and live in flippin' hope, basically. So, alright, we are going to be, honestly, I don't really need the rest. It's been, what, maybe 18 hours in game, then again. I may as well reset my sleep counter while I'm sleeping. And that would actually get me towards night anyway, which is a better time for me. So, yeah, I'll take 7 hours. I'm completely giving up all of my adrenaline right now, but it is what it is. Alright, there's just a lot of risk of crashing in this DLC for me, so we're just going to have to deal with it. Well rested. Okay, well rested is good at the bare minimum, and I'm not sick, I'm just a bit peckish. So, what the game wants me to do is speak to Longfellow here, and get his help in leading me to Acadia, because I don't actually have a map marker for that. But he's going to lead me a really stupid route, so we're not going to be doing that. Because my destination is, yeah, it's here. These 2 paths where you can't see anything. What he wants to do is lead me in this direction, past a whole bunch of trappers who have got guns who could shoot me, then round over here, bunch of ghouls going to be just off the path in that part of the world, then past a bit of plot and whatever, and no. That there, not a good way to go. Lots of risk of getting shot, much easier to find your own way. Alright, my path instead is going to be going along this route. Up here, spec-flipping-tacular. That's going to be my starting marker right there. And also, Beaver Creek Lane. You may recall 10 million years ago, I was told to go there by the Brotherhood. But, yeah, not worth the risk, alright? No trouble. In Far Harbor, with this much health, we're not messing around, we're not taking chances, alright? I have got a plan, and today, I'm going to execute it. Properly, carefully. It's going to be marvellous. On the way out, though, don't forget to just cook up all that meat very quickly. After all, I can't get hungry, otherwise I literally die. So, one of the first things the game wants me to do as well is, yeah, speak to various people dotted around Far Harbor, because they've got little submissions for me. Now, this is how you actually end up exploring most of the island. The Mariner sends you on various little fetch quests. Cassie wants you to go down to the lighthouse I mentioned previously, where the game has crashed for me in the past. You don't need to do any of this. Alright, the amount of XP and money it generates is relatively low. The only reason you need Far Harbor on side is if you're going for one particular ending. Well, I'd call it the pacifist ending, but that sounds like a good ending. It's not a good ending, because it involves a lot of people being dead and replaced, and free will being kind of, yes, eliminated. There's no good ending to Far Harbor, so I'm gonna do a bit of realpolitik with this whole business, which is, depending on which ending you go for, yeah, you get a different perk. One single, very powerful perk. And I'm going to be honest, one of them is head and shoulders better than the others for me. So, won't spoil it just yet, but let's just say we don't need to necessarily help out Far Harbor as much as you might do otherwise, and that's going to save me a whole lot of trouble. Alright, it's time. We're going out into the fog, and I've got a plan. Alright, we're not going up that road. There's trappers up there. There's all sorts of trouble. Instead, as I say, we're going over in this direction. Out into the fog itself. You can see it right there. Now, the fog is basically just rads. By the way, it is just rads. Alright, it's effectively like, you know, patches of the glowing sea. But it's not very much. And I'm wearing, you know, power armor right now, which gives me a nice amount of rad resistance. About, yeah, 1,000 rad resistance. Hazmat suit would give me 98% rad reduction as well. So, it's not as good as that, but it is still pretty darn good. Alright, let's just keep an eye on this, by the way. So, okay, right now rads is 230. We'll check how that's getting on down the line. Alright, because we should be pretty safe right here. I have very carefully plotted a route that should make me nice and safe. There's going to be a handful of ghouls over in that direction. Because, yeah, we're coming up on the bowling alley. There's going to be ghouls up there, but should be nowhere close by to me. There we go. Haven't even woken up. No trouble. So just straight through this. The lowland is heavy on the fog. The high ground tends not to be so bad. So we kind of want to get up as fast as possible. So here we go. This is my first big marker. This right here is where I want to turn right and start going uphill in a hurry. The game basically anticipates you're going to be going along the roads. So, middle of nowhere, up the side of mountains and whatever, not so much. You can see here, there's a whole bunch of clean air in front of me, though I hang about, yeah, still 230. So, the power armor's doing its job for the time being. Time to just move the marker. So we're just going to move that over to there. That's my destination at the moment. Okay, all I need to do is just slowly and carefully work my way up this here cliff. And it should be pretty much empty. There should be like nothing here. Generally, the game doesn't like putting enemies on cliff sides because, you know, they path not particularly well with the rocks and the ups and the downs. So, for the most part, you're pretty bloody safe as long as you're on a cliff side. And the brackets look nice and calm for the time being. Let's just keep on keeping on. No sun trouble just yet. Bit of fog going on over there, but that's fine. Just have to listen for the Geiger counter, because, yeah, inside power armor, you don't actually get an alert on screen in terms of, like, you know, a big red thing. Keep on keeping on. There might be some trouble in the actual forest. This is why I want to stay on the rocks. But for the most part, yeah, tiny bit of fog right there. It's just rads and it's not much. Did I just hear? I thought I heard something, but we're fine. A little bit of rads right here as well. Keep your eyes open. This is a bit more flat than I'd like, to be honest. Yeah, we're kind of linking it with the road here. So yeah, this is the end of the area we would have come to anyway. So I'm pretty sure we should be... Yeah, there it is. If it's on my compass, that means it's extremely close. That's the entrance to Acadia. So that's it. That's the first walk done. That's what this DLC is to me. It's a series of strolls. Alright, we go from point A to point B. Also, you may be asking, okay, if Far Harbor's having trouble with the fog, then why don't they just move to high ground where there doesn't seem to be any fog? I don't know. It never really comes up. They just don't feel like it, I guess. Maybe because, you know, their livelihood depends on fishing, because, you know, that's where they get their food from, so they can't be up on a hill. I don't know. In which case, yeah, where does Acadia get its... Wait, hang on. Synths need to... Well, okay, synths don't need to eat. Does synths need to eat? I'm actually not sure. Anyway, we've made it. That's through the fog. There's Acadia, and Rad's still 230. So, after all that, pretty long way, yeah, there's just not been much in the way of the Rads at all. We can get rid of that marker right now. So, we've made it to location number 1, and there we go. Where you belong is now started. Hang on. Is there a quest I haven't... There we go. I was wondering whether I had failed to complete something there. Walk in the Park is done. Another 500 easy XP, so we're rapidly moving up towards the next level. Also, I did just realise I've walked into a synth base with a gun drawn, wearing power armor that's got the Brotherhood of Steel written on the front of it. I mean, to be honest, I'm amazed they've not done more to question me immediately, because I've got a clean shot at Dima right now. But, okay, they are very, very trusting. Hello there, Dima. Dima's a star.
When I first climbed this mountain, above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you, as long as you welcome us.
And yes, indeed, let's get down to business, because without Nick here, there's only so much you can get out of this guy. So I'm looking for Kasumi.
I came here looking for Kasumi Nakano.
Really? I'm impressed. Few would brave the kind of journey you've had for the sake of someone else. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like. Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
So, here's a fun fact. The DLC will never actually confirm one way or the other. Kasumi thinks that she is, but there's no way actually within the main plot of the DLC to verify that. Now, you can go to the Institute and ask, hey, did you replace someone called Kasumi? If you do, they will reply, no, as far as we're aware, we did not. And if she ends up dead, you can verify there's no synth component on her corpse. So, as a result of that, the only conclusion we can draw is, no, actually, she's human. She just has come to believe that she's a synth.
One more question, if you'll indulge me. You're here for Kasumi, but I suspect there could be another reason you came to us. Tell me, are you a synth?
I love the answer, by the way, if you reply, yes I am, because in the context of, you know, Fallout 4 as a game, the argument is pretty bloody convincing.
I have to be honest, in the back of my mind, I've always suspected.
That's what I thought. If you don't mind, what's the first thing you can remember?
And indeed, I literally can't remember the rest of my life. The only thing I know is the day the bombs fell.
I remember being in my house the day the bombs fell. We ran to the vault. We were frozen. I was the only survivor.
No memories before then? Just a single day, and then waking up alone? We so easily accept what's presented to us as the truth, don't we? Isn't it funny how a memory can feel like a whole different reality? People, places, even sounds and colors can change. Or someone else has changed them. I won't lie to you. There will always be other explanations. Trauma, disease, the background radiation. They all take their toll on the mind. But I can promise you that we will accept you, no matter what you decide you are.
I love Dima. He's just got such a good voice actor. He comes across as so reasonable. You trust him inherently, but yes, the more you learn about Dima, the more interesting he gets. So, yes indeed. How about we just go and have a chat to Kasumi, because without Nick here, that's broadly all we can get out of him. Though while I'm actually up here in the main room, hang on, there is one item I'm going to be needing in a moment. Don't know if it's here yet. So, ACADIAN ideal. So, okay, yeah, we've got one mission down in Far Harbor saying, hey, help these people. Acadia's got one too, saying, hey, help these people, and the Children of Atom, they'll have one as well. The funny thing is, though, yeah, the Far Harbor one, you only need to do if you're going for one particular ending. The Acadia and Children of Atom one, they don't really do anything. Okay, you get XP and money if you complete these little submissions, but they don't actually help in terms of getting a better ending in the slightest. So, yeah, once again, stuff we may well be leaving to one side. And, okay, there it is, the key. Good, we needed that. This is a very small area, by the way. You've just got, yeah, the key carrots upstairs. Then you've got the next floor down, which is just, yeah, basically where a whole bunch of people live, together with one little shop right here. So, again, might see if I can just get a bit more ammunition. There we go. Toss them some ammo I don't need. Few other bits and pieces. Plenty more 308. And then finally down on the bottom floor, not much going on here, to be honest, but Kasumi herself working down on the generator? I don't know what this is. I'm kind of thinking generator, though. Hello, Kasumi.
Kasumi Nakano?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
I'm a detective. I was hired to find you.
You're a what? You came all this way for me? Look, my mom and dad, I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back. Not if they knew the truth.
Because you're not really their daughter. You're a synth.
Yeah, exactly. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them. How would that conversation have gone anyway? I've been lying to you this whole time? Your real daughter is dead and I replaced her?
I know. It must be hard for you. I just want to make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Yeah, so I am. I mean, yes. I believe I'm a synth, but there's something wrong here with Acadia. There's more going on than just the refuge. I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've done enough running.
So yes, indeed, just like with the actual situation with the factions and there being no clear, single, obvious, good solution, there's no obvious good solution with Kasumi either. We can verify she's not a synth, but she earnestly believes that she is. And she appears to be happy here. She's just, you know, pretty chill here in Acadia. So if she chooses to believe she's a robot, and if she's found a nice happy place among the other robots here and they accept her, and she's, you know, built a life for herself here, I don't really see why it's any of my business to go in and say, no, you're not a robot, go back to your life where you never felt like you fit in, because she wasn't happy. At home, her other tapes verify she didn't feel like she fit in where she was. Her parents just gave her busy work because there wasn't really anything for her to be properly working on. Here, she's got like a real job, a real place in the community. So even if it's built on something that isn't objectively true, yeah, it's tricky to figure out what the right thing to do in Far Harbor is. There's lots of shades of grey here, I love it. So, yes indeed, mysterious conspiracy diddly diddly dee, how can I help?
If something's going on, then I can help. Just tell me what's happening.
I don't know how you could. Wait, of course you can help. You find things, track down answers. That's what you do, right? That's why you came after me. What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret here on this island. Something way more important than just one lost girl.
All right, I'm listening.
Okay, where to begin? You saw all those computers that Dima's hooked up to, right? They hold his memories or offload data from his brain. Or maybe some combination of both? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them. And, you know, I got curious. There's like a century's worth of life experiences in there. And that's when I see it. Data models Dima has been making,
One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if Dima is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island.
And okay, I'll be helping out with that, yes. Okay, so there's a few ways to figure out what's going on. One, you can do some hacking, but I'm pretty sure you need, master, not expert, so I can't do that. I could go and, do a speech check against Dima, I've got the drugs for it, but that's really not necessary, because that key I picked up previously, that opens up this door that's otherwise master locked, so just crack that open, go in here, and there we go. I can now just get all the information I need straight away, though I'll be taking free stim packs. That's just free money that doesn't screw up my endurance. So, yes indeed, let's see what we got.
We need to accomplish this without bloodshed. Far Harbor and the children of Adam have a right to exist on this island, the same as us.
They're going to kill each other, Dima. There's no stopping it. We need to pick a side now.
Haven't we already picked a side? Building the fog condensers around Far Harbor wasn't exactly a neutral act.
We couldn't stand by and let the people of this island die to the fog.
Just like you couldn't just leave the Cult of Adam without a home? Giving them the submarine base was a mistake. The nucleus, as they're calling it, is basically one big fortified position.
Far Harbor had cast them out. They have strange beliefs, but they have always accepted us for what we are. And Confessor Martin was a friend.
Well, the new Confessor isn't. High Confessor Tectus is an unstable megalomaniac, and he's gonna keep threatening us as long as we're helping Far Harbor.
Guys, can we talk about the elephant in the room? We keep dancing around it.
My old memory banks in the submarine base.
I can't believe you never told me about those. I have to wait until they become a security risk.
I know how it looks in hindsight, but at the time, it was an act of trust. I was honestly more worried they'd accidentally trip the pre-war security and get hurt, giving the children my old home, allowing them to safeguard my old memories. I thought our people would be working together.
Just how secure are the banks? How long do we have? And what's in them?
I've gone over this before, Chase. I don't know what's in them. That's how it works. It's as close to forgetting something as I have, but I've run some projections of worst-case scenarios. If we do nothing and the wrong knowledge falls in the wrong hands...
So send me over there. I'll be in and out in a day.
We can't risk it. They know you're from Acadia. If you're caught, or even seen, then it's war.
We should at least prepare her to go in. We're running out of options. I say we tell her how to crack into the memory banks.
You've been working on this without me?
It came up in a private moment, Chase. But yes, we've been writing a program that will let you access and download my memories. It's not going to be like a normal hack. You'll be breaking through a version of my own mental network. It'll consider you to be an intruder. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded that will help guide you through it. I'm afraid it's difficult to explain without seeing it for yourself.
I'm finishing up some tweaks to the program right now. I'll leave a copy of it for you on my desk when I'm done.
Get the program, use it to break into the memory banks. Got it.
Hopefully you won't have to. We'll keep monitoring the situation. I only want you going in if we have no other choice.
Again, I just love the weird moral complexity to Far Harbor, which is Demon may have done terrible things, but he doesn't remember doing them, so can he be held morally accountable for those, or is the person he is now still the same person that made those decisions, so anything he did previously, even if he forgot it, he should still be... Ooh, it's all very interesting. Also, I just love how during that entire cutscene, I'm incredibly obvious in the background, because I'm just standing there in massive power armor. They blatantly should have seen me. So, at this point, we can just go and grab the program off What's-His-Face's desk, and then we can just go and take care of that right now. or we can go to speak to Dima. He'll basically just say, oh yeah, probably best you do it anyway, given you are not known to be a member of the Acadian community, so doesn't really make any difference whatsoever. Still, back up to the top, there's the tape. It's not even stealing to take this, because presumably they, like, I don't know, make another one, so it's fine. And again, we can also go down to Kasumi at this point. In fact, we should do just for the XP, but it doesn't really lead to much aside from her saying, hey, would you mind investigating, figuring out what's really going on, come back and tell me when you do. So at this point, yes, our next step's pretty clear. We need to go and speak to the Children of Atom. Also, she just gave me 500 caps. Why is everybody tossing cocking money at me? And that leads to, yes, the real meat of this DLC, best left forgotten. We've got to get into Dima's memory, so that's going to involve a lot of rads from the Children of Atom just to get inside, and then some of the toughest fights in the game, to my mind. Yeah, accessing that terminal, that's not a fun time. Oh, I tell you what, flipping perfect, precisely 500 caps, exactly what I just got off Kasumi, a fusion core. Yeah, those are going to start running out fast if I'm using that, so that there, good trade. Well, that's all we need from Acadia for now, and that means, yeah, our next step is pretty obvious. I need to make it to the Children of Atom, and that journey's not going to be as simple as the one that brought me to Acadia. Alright, there's a lot more trouble as you go further and further west on the island, things get nastier. More fog, more monsters, and even the dreaded fog crawlers themselves. So, okay. I would say, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for now. We have made a good, solid start in Far Harbor, discussed a lot of very important principles for how we're going to be resolving this, because we're not necessarily going to get a happy ending for everybody. In fact, in this DLC, you can't. Even the closest thing to a pacifist ending, people do need to die, so yeah. Things are going to get sad by the end of this one. Not everybody's getting a happy ending, but I've got a plan. I think I know a maybe 80% safe route to take me over to the Children of Atom, but they're going to ask me to make sacrifices that in You Only Live Once are going to really hurt. And then, oh bloody hell, the old command center, the nucleus, the legendary bastard high-level Assaultron. Oh, I'm scared. Next week, things are going to potentially go very badly wrong. Next week could be a run-under. I am genuinely scared the run could end next week because there's some nasty stuff hiding here. But if I can just pull it off, we can actually complete Far Harbor in maybe less time than you're expecting. Alright, there are ways and means that we can get a decent solution out of this. Resolving Kasumi, resolving the Civil War, without having to spend too much time in the fog. So, we will discuss the exact plan next week. Hopefully, you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Fallout 4, You Only Live Once. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
We have got a gate key here, and then we have got... I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! I've made a mistake! This is going to take all of my skill and cunning as a hunter to sort out... Die, you mooing bastards! Die! Die! Go away. Go away, nobody likes you. That was a good idea till it wasn't.